Hello YouTubers out there, this is Jerry Saravia at the movies. So today we're going to talk about the controversy surrounding the 87th Academy Awards and the list of nominations that were announced, none of which showed much diversity whatsoever, except mainly for just white people or anyone who's British, but that's about it. No black actors were nominated, no black directors. So let's see, the issue this year is Selma was nominated for Best Picture and Best Song. But the actor who played Martin Luther King Jr., David Oyelowo, was not nominated. And the director of the film was not nominated, Ava DuVernay, who would have been the first black female director nominated in Academy Awards history had she been nominated. Not that that's a reason to do it, because I don't always believe that it has to be good intentions that drive, these nominations, but rather the merit of the work, the quality. Now, I haven't seen Selma, so I can't comment. By and large, most film critics seem to agree that this is quite a good film. And there's been controversy surrounding the historical accuracy, which is really the case with almost everything. Angelina Jolie, who's of course not black, but she is a white woman, and women are considered a minority, almost rarely ever get nominated, was not nominated for the film Unbroken, itself based on a true story, faced with some historical inaccuracies as well. But the film was, that's it. It was kind of shut out of the Academy Awards. So, anyway, so women, except for the Best Supporting Actress, of course, or Best Actress, got their share of nominations. But black people, not so much. So let's go back in time a little bit and reassess the list of black actors who were nominated in the past, and actresses, and those who have won. Now, as far as directors, this is kind of a short list, so here we go. Steve Mcqueen was nominated for Best Director for 12 Years a Slave. Did not win, but he was in fact the first black producer to ever win in the category of Best Picture, because of course he helped produce the film, so he got that out of his way at least. 12 Years a Slave won for that. Aside from that, John Singleton was the youngest black person ever to be nominated for Best Director, and that was for Boys in the Hood back in 1991. He did not win. Spike Lee, by the way, has had only 2 Oscar nominations. One was for Best Original Screenplay for Do the Right Thing in 1990, and Four Little Girls, a truly amazing documentary, by the way, was nominated for Best Documentary. He did not win. So let's see. In the last few years, as far as actresses are concerned, Halle Berry was the first actress to win, black actress to win in the Best Actress category for Monsters Ball. That was in 2001. Since then, Lupita Nyong'o won for 12 Years a Slave, Best Supporting Actress. Octavia Spencer won Best Supporting Actress for The Help. All of these, by the way, were deserved. So it's not just a question of good intentions. Let's do the right thing type of thing, because that wouldn't be right to do it on that basis. Now, let's go back even further with regards to actors. That's just 3 actresses. Of course, there was also Hattie McDaniel back in the day for Gone with the Wind. So between Hattie McDaniel and Halle Berry, we're talking about pretty much almost 70 years. And this is the 87th Annual Academy Awards show. You can't tell me there weren't any talented actresses between Hattie McDaniel, who were black, and Halle Berry. 1964, Sidney Poitier was the first black actor to win in a leading role, his Oscar for Lilies of the Field. Now, he also holds the record for the youngest black actor to win the Best Actor Oscar at the age of 37. Let's see, that would have been Poitier's second nomination for the award, the first being for his performance in The Defiant Ones 5 years earlier. So then it took about 38 years until Denzel Washington won Best Actor Oscar. Now, by the way, Denzel did win if I'm not mistaken, Best Supporting Actor for Glory. And I'm trying to remember. I do believe that's correct. I didn't double check that, but I think that's correct. Nevertheless, Denzel won Best Actor for Training Day. Although, to be honest with you, I think he really deserved it for Malcolm X, which is, I mean, there's no performance like that. Not by anybody. By having won that, by the way, and for Training Day, that made him, Denzel, the oldest black actor to win the Best Actor Oscar at 47 years old. So that was in 2002. Now, since then, 2 black actors have won the Best Actor Oscar. Jamie Foxx for Ray in 2005. Forrest Whitaker for his role as Idi Amin in The Last King of Scotland in 2007. Now, put this into further context. Black actors have been nominated just 20 times for the Best Actor Oscar, including Chiwetel Ejiofor's nomination for 12 Years a Slave, which he did not win. Denzel has the most Best Actor nominations with 4, followed by Morgan Freeman with 3. Morgan Freeman did win Best Supporting Actor for $1 Million Baby in 2005. Notice how all of these wins are towards the last 20 years or so. Let's see. Now, what was interesting is that you already started to see a lack of diversity last year because, okay, so Idris Elba was being considered for the film Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. Forrest Whitaker for Lee Daniels' The Butler. And Michael B. Jordan for Fruitvale Station. The same year with 12 Years a Slave. But only one managed to secure a Best Actor nomination, Chiwetel Ejiofor, which he did not win, which he deserved. Now, there's been 3 occasions. I looked at this article, and it's fascinating stuff, and that's why I'm bringing it up. 3 occasions in the history of the Oscars where more than one black actor has been nominated in the Best Actor category. 3 occasions. So 2001, Denzel Washington for Training Day, and Will Smith for Ali. 2004, and this is a historic one, Jamie Foxx for Ray. He actually received 2 nominations that same year, and then Best Supporting Actor for Collateral, which was that Michael Mann film with Tom Cruise. Now, and then Don Cheadle for Hotel Rwanda. Then finally in 2006, 2 black actors. Forrest Whitaker for Last King of Scotland, which he won. Will Smith for Pursuit of Happiness. Last year, Chiwetel Ejiofor was the first black British actor to be nominated for Best Actor Oscar. Now, you want to talk about lack of diversity, you can see it right there. Seems that in certain years we get it, and some years not so much, but only really in the last 20 years. And again, that's just 20 times for Best Actor Oscar since Sidney Poitier in 1964. So, yeah, there's definitely a problem. And will this problem ever really, truly be corrected? I don't know. Now, again, I'm the last person that says you got to nominate a black actor this year because you should, as opposed to do they deserve it? That's another thing. But like George Lucas pointed out today, and that may seem like an unlikely person to quote, but he was on CBS this morning, and he said that it's not about artistic merit whatsoever. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, that it's all politics. But what are the politics in not picking the actor who plays Martin Luther King Jr.? I mean, how often do we have a theatrical film release that deals with the days of Martin Luther King Jr. that is not a documentary or a TV movie or miniseries? In fact, even those we don't see that much, if at all. So it's very rare. And we also seem to be suggesting in a strange way that, now 12 Years a Slave is a great film. I think it's a masterpiece. But it's almost like, yeah, if you play a slave in a movie, that's fine. We'll grant you something. It's almost like, every time there's a documentary or a film revolving around the Holocaust, that is the Nazi Holocaust, that they seem to not even just get a nomination, they get a win. And that, you know, it seems to be the same case here, that if for example, Denzel Washington played a bad cop in Training Day. Now, granted, he, you know, he won the Oscar. Lupita Nyong'o for playing a slave, Octavia Spencer for playing a maid, Halle Berry, well, that was at least a different kind of character. I mean, she has some sort of a, definitely more than just a sexual fling with Billy Bob Thornton in Monsters Ball, but she's not a slave, or she's not a maid, she's not, you know, any of those type of characters that we've seen so much in Hollywood history, going, of course, way back to even before Hattie McDaniel in Gone with the Wind. So, but then Sidney Poitier, you know, if you think about the roles he's played, particularly Lilies of the Field, it's not even the race that is the question. You know, I mean, the defined ones would be a slightly different story. There's racial tension there because he is with Tony Curtis. If you know that story, they're always handcuffed. But then there's also In the Heat of the Night, but he plays a black cop. You know, and it's almost interesting to me that even in those days, that was a step up from the norm for most black actors and actresses forced into playing or reinforcing certain kinds of stereotypes. Looks like we're going back to that. Now, The Help, at the very least, shows the humanity behind those maids, and that's what I really appreciate about that film more than anything else. Same thing with 12 Years a Slave. That story needed to be told. And there's several others that should be told, like Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad, and all these stories that never get the cinematic treatment should be told. So you got to tell those stories. But leaving that aside, why you can't even nominate an actor who played Martin Luther King Jr., who, just from the brief clips I've seen, he's terrific. So what is really the problem? And I can't answer that because I don't know, but I do think it has a lot to do with politics now. I don't know where this runs, the politics, in terms of if it is a certain kind of bias or even a prejudice. We know there's still racism, of course. We know that very well. And, you know, we can say, well, in 2014, yeah, well, but you know, racism really should have been started to evaporate soon after the Civil Rights Act. You know, I can understand it took 100 years between that and slavery in 1863 when it was abolished, but, you know, come on now. I mean, it's really time to move on. But a lot of people can't move on. May have a lot to do with people who can't move on because of who's currently occupying the seat of the Oval Office. And I think we know that. But, you know, I'm not saying that's the reason, of course, for the lack of diversity. But if even Reverend Al Sharpton wants to hold an emergency meeting, well, all we got to tell Al Sharpton is, listen, this has been going on for a long time. Although it seems wrong, I just don't understand that a film like Selma doesn't direct itself. Why wouldn't a woman who's black get the nomination? Well, but in that case, again, as I said before, women generally don't get much respect as directors. Actresses, different story, because always an actress is going to win, or Best Supporting Actress. One of them has to win out of the 5. But Catherine Bigelow was the first woman. Regardless of the fact that she was white, she was the first woman to win an Oscar as Best Director. But women, like even Barbra Streisand, it's like they can't command any sort of respect whatsoever in this industry, even with just a nomination. So, I don't know really what's the reason behind this, why we're seeing less adversity, but it seems like it's slowly accumulating in that direction. But I have to give them props for at least recognizing talent when they see it. Lupita Nyong'o, for example, regardless of the fact that she plays a slave, you know. But I don't understand why with Selma it didn't happen. I don't know. Oh well, there you have it. That's all I can say about that. I'm sure there's more to say. And this is Jerry Saravia at the Movies, signing off.